Ladies and gentlemen, imagine you are on a boat in the middle of the ocean. The waves are rising, the wind is howling, and the storm is raging. Now you have two choices: panic and drown, or remain calm and navigate through it. The truth is, life is no different. Storms will come, problems will rise. But the one who survives is not the one who panics, but the one who remains calm and controls the direction. Let me ask you, how many times have you lost control in a moment of frustration, only to regret it later? How often have you reacted out of fear instead of responding with wisdom? You see, life will not ask for your permission before throwing challenges at you, but your response will determine whether you rise above or sink below. Your mind is the battlefield. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you encounter, and every storm that comes your way is first fought and won in your mind. The greatest battles in life are not the ones happening around you, but the ones happening within you. If you control your mind, you control your life. If you lose control over your thoughts, you become a prisoner of your emotions, circumstances, and fears. Think about it. Every time a problem arises, what is the first thing that gets affected? It's your mind. The moment uncertainty strikes, anxiety creeps in. The moment someone offends you, anger rises. The moment you hear bad news, fear takes over. And when your mind is unsettled, everything around you feels chaotic. Your reactions become impulsive, your decisions become unstable, and your peace is shattered. You see, life does not just test you with external situations. It tests how well you can maintain control over your internal world. History is filled with people who lost everything but still remain victorious because they mastered their minds. And it is also filled with people who had everything but lost it all because they couldn't control their emotions. It is never the situation that destroys a person. It is their inability to control their response. When you understand this, you begin to realize that your greatest enemy is not outside, it is within. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not in the challenges they face, but in how they handle them. Two people can go through the same struggle, yet one rises while the other falls. Why? Because one trains their mind to remain calm, while the other allows emotions to take over. A calm mind sees solutions, while a troubled mind only sees problems. A trained mind moves forward with wisdom, while an untrained mind gets stuck in fear and frustration. Let me tell you a truth that will change your life. No situation has the power to break you unless you allow it. The storm outside cannot sink the boat unless the water gets inside. In the same way, the pressure of life cannot crush you unless you allow it to enter your mind. The moment you master this principle, you become unshakable. You begin to operate from a position of peace instead of panic, from wisdom instead of worry, and from faith instead of fear. So how do you win the battle of the mind? By training it daily. Daily. Just as a soldier does not wait for war to begin training, you cannot wait for trouble to prepare yourself. Every single day, you must strengthen your ability to remain calm, to think clearly, and to resist the urge to react emotionally. This is not something that happens overnight. It is a discipline, a habit, a way of life. And the more you practice it, the stronger you become. Because at the end of the day, the real battle is not in the world, it is in your mind. And once you win there, you can win anywhere. Calmness is a choice, not a reaction. Most people believe that peace comes when everything is going well, that they can only be calm when life is free of trouble. But that is an illusion. True calmness is not dependent on external conditions. It is a decision you make regardless of what is happening around you. If you are waiting for life to be perfect before you find peace, you will be waiting forever. Life will always present challenges, but your response determines whether those challenges control you or whether you rise above them. Look at how people react when difficulties come. Some panic, some complain, some blame others, and some give up. Their emotions take over, and they lose control over their decisions. Why? Because they have never trained their minds to remain steady. When the unexpected happens, their first instinct is fear, not wisdom. Wisdom. Their first reaction is frustration, not clarity, and because of that, they make decisions that only make things worse. A person who cannot control their emotions cannot control their life. Now think about those who remain calm in chaos. They do not have fewer problems than others. They are not exempt from pain, loss, or uncertainty. But what makes them different is their ability to choose their response. When pressure comes, they do not allow emotions to dictate their actions. When others are losing their heads, they stay steady. And because of this, they can think clearly, make better decisions, and come out stronger. Their calmness is not an accident. It is a habit they have built. Many people say, I can't help how I feel, but that is not true. You may not be able to control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. Your emotions do not have to rule over you. You can train your mind to remain in control. Every time a situation arises, you have a choice: react or respond. Reacting is instant. It is driven by emotions without thought or wisdom. Responding, however, is intentional. It requires you to pause, to think, and to act with purpose. One leads to regret, the other leads to strength. The truth is, you will never find lasting peace if your calmness depends on your circumstances. There will always be something trying to shake you. There will always be challenges testing your patience, shifting your patience. If you want to live a life of stability, you must decide that your peace is non-negotiable. You must train yourself to stay calm no matter what. Because when you do, you gain a power that nothing can take away from you, the power to remain steady in the storm. This is why the greatest leaders, the strongest minds, and the most successful people are not the ones who never face difficulties, but the ones who refuse to be shaken by them. They have learned the secret. Calmness is not something that happens to you. It is a choice you make. And when you master that choice, you master your life. Mastering inner peace gives you external influence. The world is filled with noise, pressure, and constant challenges, yet very few people know how to remain calm in the midst of it all. Those who do become leaders, decision makers, and people others look up to. Why? Because calmness is not just about personal peace. It is about the power to navigate life with wisdom and clarity. When you have control over your mind, you naturally gain influence over the people and situations around you. Think about this. When chaos erupts, who do people turn to? Do they look for the one who is panicking, or do they seek the person who remains composed? The answer is obvious. People trust those who are steady. In moments of crisis, they need someone who can think clearly, someone who is not easily shaken by emotions, someone whose presence alone brings stability. This is why leaders are not just those with authority, but those with control over their own minds. They do not react impulsively to problems. They respond with wisdom. They do not let fear dictate their actions. They make choices based on vision and understanding. Imagine walking into a room filled with tension. Everyone is arguing, emotions are high, and people are struggling to think straight. But then one person enters, calm, steady, and in control. They do not raise their voice, yet their presence alone shifts the atmosphere. They listen, assess the situation, and speak with clarity. Suddenly, people stop panicking. They begin to listen. The environment changes. What is happening here? It is the influence of inner peace. A person who has mastered their mind can shift the energy of an entire room. This principle applies to every area of life. In business, the most respected leaders are those who remain calm under pressure. In relationships, the strongest bonds are built with those who do not let emotions control their actions. In families, the one who remains patient and composed becomes the anchor that holds everyone together. Even in personal success, the ability to stay steady in difficult times determines how far a person will go. The truth is, no one follows someone who is emotionally unstable. People follow strength, and strength comes from mastering the mind. You see, influence is not about controlling others. It is about mastering yourself to the point where people naturally trust and respect you. When you walk in peace, you bring peace. When you carry wisdom, people seek your advice. When you refuse to be moved by circumstances, others learn to do the same. The power of influence is not found in external control, but in internal mastery. So, if you want to lead, if you want to impact people, if you want to be in people's and others look up to, start with your mind. Train it daily. Discipline your emotions. Stay calm when others are losing control, because the one who controls their mind controls their destiny, and the one who carries inner peace carries the power to influence the world. Your reactions shape your reality. Life is not about what happens to you, it is about how you respond. Every situation you face, whether good or bad, presents you with two choices: react emotionally or respond with wisdom. These choices determine the direction of your life more than the actual events themselves. The same challenge that breaks one person makes another stronger. The same storm that causes one to sink teaches another how to navigate. The difference is never in the situation, it is always in the reaction. Look at the people around you. Some are stuck in a cycle of frustration, always complaining about their circumstances. They blame their problems on the economy, their upbringing, or other people's actions. Yet, there are others who have faced even greater challenges, but have risen above them. Why? Because they refuse to let their reactions be dictated by emotions. Instead of responding with fear, they choose faith. Instead of reacting with anger, they choose wisdom. Instead of being controlled by frustration, they seek solutions. The truth is, every reaction you have is shaping your future. When you react in anger, you create unnecessary conflict. When you react in fear, you limit your potential. When you react with doubts, you close doors that were meant to be open for you. But when you choose patience, you build trust. When you choose faith, you create possibilities. When you choose calmness, you gain clarity. Your life today is the result of the reactions you made yesterday, and your future will be determined by the reactions you make today. Think about a difficult situation you have faced in the past. Now imagine if you had responded differently. Would the outcome have changed? In most cases, the answer is yes. Many regrets in life come from moments when people reacted without thinking. A single angry outburst can destroy a relationship. A single fear-based decision can ruin an opportunity. A single careless reaction can push someone away forever. But the good news is that just as negative reactions create problems, positive reactions create opportunities. This is why training your mind is so important. If you do not control your reactions, your emotions will control you. Emotions will control you. And if your emotions control you, your life will always be unstable. You will be like a leaf in the wind, tossed in every direction by whatever situation arises. But when you discipline yourself to remain calm, to pause before responding, and to choose wisdom over impulse, you begin to shape a life of stability, success, and strength. You cannot always control what happens, but you can always control how you react. And when you take charge of your reactions, you take charge of your life. The power is not in the event, it is in your response. The question is, will you react like everyone else, or will you rise above? Because the moment you choose your reactions wisely, you begin to shape a reality that works in your favor, no matter what comes your way. Discipline your mind to avoid emotional traps. In life, emotions are powerful, but if left unchecked, they can become the greatest obstacles to success, peace, and wise decision-making. Fear can stop you from taking action. Anger can destroy relationships. Anxiety can cloud your judgment, and frustration can make you give up too soon. These emotions are natural, but they should never be in control. The key to mastering life is mastering your mind. And that means disciplining it to recognize and overcome emotional traps before they take hold of you. Think about the last time you made a decision purely based on emotion. Did it lead to a good outcome? Many people look back and regret the choices they made in moments of anger, fear, or anxiety. Why? Because emotions create urgency, but wisdom requires patience. An undisciplined mind reacts without thinking, while a trained mind pauses, evaluates, and then responds. The difference between success and failure, between peace and chaos, is often just a few seconds. The time it takes to stop and think before acting on emotion. Emotional traps are everywhere. Fear whispers that you are not good enough, making you hesitate when you should move forward. Anger tells you to respond immediately, making you say things you later regret. Anxiety keeps you stuck in a cycle of overthinking, preventing you from making progress. But here's the truth. These emotions only have power over you if you let them. The disciplined mind does not ignore emotions, but it does not allow them to take control. Instead, it recognizes them, understands them, and then makes a decision based on wisdom, not impulse. This is why some people remain stuck in life. They allow their emotions to dictate their actions. When things get difficult, they quit because frustration tells them it's too hard. When they face rejection, they retreat because fear convinces them they are not capable. When someone offends them, they react aggressively because anger blinds them to the bigger picture. But those who rise above, those who succeed and find lasting peace, are the ones who have trained their minds to resist these emotional traps. They feel the same emotions as everyone else, but they have learned to control their responses. Training your mind takes time and effort. Just as an athlete trains their body to become stronger, you must train your thoughts to become disciplined. This means practicing patience when you want to react impulsively. It means choosing faith when fear tries to paralyze you. It means pausing and breathing when anger rushes in. The more you practice, the stronger your mind becomes, and soon, emotional traps lose their power over you. Life will always test you, but when your mind is disciplined, you will not be shaken. You will walk with clarity, make wise decisions, and remain steady no matter what comes your way. Because in the end, the person who masters their emotions masters their destiny. And that is the key to living with strength, success, and unshakable peace. Everything you experience in life is filtered through your mind. The same situation can be seen as a problem or an opportunity, a burden or a lesson, a setback or a setup for something greater. The difference is not in the situation itself, but in how your mind perceives it. A person who has trained their mind to remain calm sees life differently from someone who is controlled by emotions. Your thoughts shape your reality, and the way you respond to life's challenges determines the level of peace, joy, and success you experience. Many people believe that external circumstances dictate happiness and peace. They think I'll be happy when my problems go away, or I'll be at peace when everything falls into place. But that is an illusion. There will always be something trying to steal your peace. Unexpected difficulties, disappointments, stressful situations, and difficult people. If your mind is not trained to remain calm, you will always feel like a victim of your circumstances. But when your mind is disciplined, you realize that peace is not found in a perfect life. It is found in a controlled mind. Have you ever met people who seem unshaken no matter what happens? They go through challenges, yet they remain composed. They face disappointments, yet they refuse to be bitter. They deal with stress, yet they keep moving forward with a clear head. These are people who have mastered the art of controlling their thoughts. They have realized that external events cannot define their internal state. Big. They have made a decision that no matter what happens, they will not allow worry, fear, or frustration to steal their peace. On the other hand, there are those who allow every little inconvenience to ruin their mood. They get angry over small things, stressed about situations they cannot control, and anxious over problems that haven't even happened yet. Their emotions are in charge, and because of that, they live in a constant state of tension. They think the world is against them, but the truth is, the real battle is within their own mind. This is why mental discipline is the key to a fulfilled life. When you train your mind to remain calm, you gain the ability to handle anything that comes your way. Stressful situations no longer control you. Fear no longer holds you back. People's opinions no longer dictate your worth. You become unshakable, not because life is easy, but because you have developed the inner strength to rise above any situation. Life will never be free of problems, but a trained mind makes those problems powerless. When you control your mind, you control your life. And when you master your inner world, nothing in the outer world can defeat you.